set. I think the issue with the Steelers is, are they good enough as a team? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is 41. By the time the playoffs start, if they get there, he's going to be 42. Can he stay healthy throughout the season? They have one established receiver, DK Metcalf, who over a 6-year NFL career has averaged 73 catches a year. Their average age on their starting defense is right around 28, which would make it one of the oldest in the league, and they don't even have TJ Watt in camp yet because of a contract dispute. They got a rookie running back. God help that kid if he blows something in pass protection early on. Right. Like, there are some issues with this team that go well beyond what is Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers' relationship on them.
Mike T, they made this. They could have gone one and done in the playoffs this year with Mason Rudolph. But they did,
actually. They did 2 years ago.
That's right. So they got Aaron Rodgers to get over that one and done 8-year slump.
Yeah, if you're looking at it as the glass is half full, what does Arthur Smith want to do? He wants to be under center play action. Hebo gave me great stats. Over the last couple of years, 41% under center for Arthur Smith, well above league average, 31% play action. So Caleb Johnson, the rookie that Dan was referencing, is really the key here. If they can run the ball effectively, Matt, then yes, I think the Aaron Rodgers move has a chance of working in a really material way, because that's what Aaron Rodgers can do. He can turn his back to the line of scrimmage, play action, and then throw with great accuracy. If they can't run the ball, he is a athletically diminished, soon-to-be 42-year-old quarterback who is not in the offseason. Bart, you know the history in our league says when you're not in the offseason program and you're over 40, the odds are massively against you. Again, I give Aaron Rodgers credit for signing and trying to do this, but why not do it 2 months ago? Give yourself the best chance to be successful.
Like I keep repeating, I did it with Steve McNair. We signed him June 6th. We went 13-3, was the #1 seed in the AFC. You talk about that rookie running back. Now, you had a Sean Green, and Sean Green was really a spark for us that year when we ran the ball. We know that Iowa could produce those in between the tackles, downhill running, which is exactly what Tomlin wants to do. And I think they'll preserve Aaron Rodgers by running the football. He's not going to be in for pass protection because they have Darnell Washington, they have Fairmouth. They'll go 2 tight ends. They'll let these guys go in and leak him out. They won't have them protections. But, when you talk about Arthur Smith, what Arthur Smith wants, and what he wants is time. He wants to play on time. And what was the big issue with Russell Wilson? He didn't play on time. Some of his biggest plays in the moon ball came off schedule type of plays. Aaron Rodgers is a guy that I think still can play at a high level. You talk about him turning the ball over. Aaron Rodgers, he'll turn the ball over above his natural average last year. There was only 11 interceptions on a bad football team. I think this team is a live dog, and I think they can win.
Yeah, look, again.
Yeah, I said it. Go to break right now.
That's it? We're going to clip that off?
Wait, Bart, you just said under on 8.5, and you're...
I didn't say under. I said over. That was you, Ricky Bobby.
Check the tape.
Steve McNair was 33 in 2000.
Steve McNair had
8 years younger.
Yeah, but he had injury list. He was an old 33.
All right, we are back on Get Up with football in a game that we are calling Bets of Steel. Not to be confused with Rooster. You getting ready to unveil La Tigra? Is that the other one? That's the other one. All right. All right, let's go. Aaron Rodgers, touchdown passes prop, 22.5. What are you playing?
Under. Doesn't seem like a big number, but since the NFL moved to a 17-game schedule 4 years ago, you get an average of about 13 quarterbacks per year who hit this mark. So again, it's not something that's hit all that frequently. Age is a concern, health is a concern, the offensive line is a concern, the depth at the wide receiver unit is a concern. Second half of that schedule is brutal as well. I'd play under 22.5.
All right, so the under for the touchdown passes prop. Passing yardage prop, 3,200.5 yards. What do you play?
This would also be an under, but not as convincing. Again, last 4 years since we moved to a 17-game schedule, about 17 quarterbacks per year hit this mark. A little less confident in this one, but the one thing to keep in mind, when you're going to bet overs on passing, you need teammates, playmakers, you need a favorable schedule, especially indoor games. One indoor game this season for Pittsburgh. Late in the year, it's going to be a lot of outdoor games, a lot of weather, a lot of wind. That wreaks havoc on the passing game.
That is such a nugget of 17 games, one indoor game. Thank you so much. You did us right. Pittsburgh, win total, over, under 8.5.
So you get the trend here. We're going to go under 8.5. Couple things to keep in mind. As of right now, the Steelers are a dog in 11 of 17 games. 11 of 17, they're listed as an underdog. Last year, Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, when he was an underdog, 0-6. Didn't spring a single upset. Now, on top of that, a couple big regression indicators. Number one, last 5 years, Pittsburgh has won 71% of their one-score games. Now, that's not going to continue. Regression indicator number two, last year, Pittsburgh was number 2 in the NFL in turnover differential. Good luck maintaining that. 10th hardest schedule in the NFL as well. It's going to be close, but I'd go under 8.5.
By the way, our studio audience over there in the set, the entirety of it, Bart, Graziano, Mike T, they all looked over and they were going, there they are. So they were going under. They all,
smart group. It's a real smart group.
It was all under. And Graziano was kind of like, I don't know.
No, Tomlin.
And you can see why he has the job he has, Matt, which is he is confident, he's relatable. And look, Jerry Jones, I'm not sure that, I don't know this, but you connect the dots. Obviously, Dak had to sign off on this hire, and you can see why for obvious reasons. And to me now, like, he's laying out a plan, how they're going to win, and what happens when they do. They're going to have to run the ball, though, for this team to be successful, because the one question mark we have about Dak, guys, is the last 2 out of the 3 years, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. How do you protect the quarterback? You run the ball, and the question is, does Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders cobble enough together for them to be able to run the ball?
I think they would tell you that a lot depends on the offensive line, right? That those backs will be successful if they can get it blocked, which they feel better about their offensive line this year than they did last year. They've invested resources in it, obviously, in the draft. Brian Schottenheimer, not just Dak Prescott, but I think a lot of players were excited about that hire. My understanding is it went over pretty well in the building. So he's a guy that is very well liked and well respected by the players there. And obviously he's bringing some level of confidence to this that I'm sure they're all feeding off of. So it seems to me that the vibes are pretty high in Dallas right now.
And for him to step to the podium and talk like that, look, if a coach is going out there and saying it, people start believing it, and belief is a good thing inside the locker room. But as I see it as the smirk on your face, the Cowboys, did they get enough done this offseason to be a true?
Well, listen, I think so. When you have the offensive talent that you have, and I think you can protect that defense as well if you're going to change the philosophy. But I always say this, don't sell no wolf tickets if you ain't no wolf. Now, you're sitting out there, you want to be the big bad wolf, and you're proclaiming that you're going to get to the Super Bowl, you want to win a Super Bowl, but you have to be self-aware. You have to be self-aware, you have to understand who you are and what perception is of you. Perception can sometimes be reality. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys have gotten away from what they used to be. They've been riding off of the coattails of the 90s teams, and they've been always underperforming, right? They never punch above their weight. Yeah. And to do that, they have to understand they got to bring a level of toughness. And I'm not talking about physical toughness, right? Because we know that they have great players. We know they have a great offensive line in the past. When you think about Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick and all those guys. But they need mental toughness. This is a team that has always been mentally weak because they've been coddled and because things are too nice, right? And remember when Rex came in, he said he didn't want to kiss the ring. Shotty was there. And we went up to Cortland and we became a team. And it's one thing to be a collection of talented players. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to be a team. And to do that, you got to take people, you got to strip them down to the bare bones and build them back up.
I think the mindset changes in the postseason for the Cowboys. When McCarthy run off 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, then they get thumped in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's where they need